I honestly think this show has one of the craziest training regimens I've ever seen in any other anime that I've watched. Cue the intro.
Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's a geek.
Hell's Paradise was a very peculiar and interesting watch, but the premise was really fresh. I think I had stumbled upon this I had seen it like the past couple years, like probably a year or so ago, 2 years maybe. It was popular on the trending, but I never really gave it a chance. And it was a point in time, like a couple weeks ago, I was like, shoot, man, I was kind of trying to find something else to watch, and I was like, all right, let me see what this Hell's Paradise is about. And it started a little slow for me, but I think around like the second or third episode, I started thinking, man, this is deeper than what it is. Now, for me, this show had a lot of parallels into the current day's time, especially when pertaining to how women are portrayed and seen. One thing I want to point out is Sagiri, who is the protector of Gabimaru. I really loved her story and how she wanted to be a samurai, but the other samurai, mainly men, didn't really want to see her as such. So it made it to where she always had doubt in herself from other people, and other people doubted her. So she had self-doubt and she had other people actually doubting her. And it took a minute for her to overcome that, and we'll get to that in a minute. Gabimaru, same thing to a certain extent. So with Gabimaru, I was watching this, like, with him raised as this type of like demon, assassin type thing, and Gabimaru the hollow, he doesn't really have emotions, doesn't really have feelings. And I think that's how a lot of people are in today's world, where in some things you do in your life, you might have to go into a certain workforce or certain job or something like that, where you gotta hollow yourself. You can't really have certain feelings about what you're doing. And that was kind of the cool thing about that, is because he had a reason. He had a reason why he was doing all this stuff. He was raised as an assassin, but at the same time, it was more so, I'm just trying to do what I'm trying to do, and I really can't die. But it's not really that I can't die. I think I want to die because I'm such a monster and I'm such a hollow, and I'm doing all these things that people would ridicule. But the whole time, it's my body saying I don't want to die because it's something I'm trying to get to in my life. And it turned out that was him trying to figure out a situation with his wife, who may not even exist. So, and I haven't read the manga, so don't say nothing, don't spoil. But yeah, I think that was cool. So that was kind of like the beginning stories. And this is where it really picks up for me. So around the time where the leaders, I forgot their name, but basically when everybody was being picked up, all their different type of assassins and different types of killers, right? And they each having a samurai protector. They're all jumbled up together, and you see all these different ferocious beasts of people. The leaders of Japan are saying, yo, we need y'all to go to this place so you can get this elixir of life. No one has been able to do it. If you get this elixir of life, you can be pardoned. And Gabimaru has interest because if he gets pardoned, he can see his wife. And going back to Sagiri, who is the protector of Gabimaru, she had to protect someone who is so ferocious and not really have a lot of self-confidence until Gabimaru gave it to her, which was a nice storytelling piece with that. There's a lot of fights that's happening. You kind of get to see the ferociousness of the people you're dealing with, and they get to the island where all the gods are, right? So, like they have said before, other people have been there. Really, no one escapes that island that has the elixir of life on it. And we learn that people don't escape because when they go there, they end up being killed by these different types of monsters, and they turn into flowers. And those flowers produces the Tao, I think it was called, something started with a T, that the gods use to keep themselves godly. All right, so stuff like that. That was really like a cool story piece, because I really haven't watched any other show that talks about stuff like that. We get in the few first episodes on the island, man. You've seen how everybody's trying to maneuver. Some people, they're already savages, so they thrive in that place. Some people, they're actually trying to work together. You have women, they're having sex with some of their protectors. It was crazy. Yuzihira, yeah, she a freak. Alright, so that was cool. I think this is probably one of the most graphic shows I've watched. Really can't think of anything else, because there was a lot of sex going on. Obviously you don't see it, but it's implied, especially with the gods. And there was a lot of blood, killing, so It was graphic, all right? It was graphic. We end up learning and stuff. We learning more about the world, and we're learning more about the culture and how it was a regular island, and the gods kind of did what they had to do and turn everybody into trees, and it was very cool. I want to say, let's talk about the gods. Let's talk about the gods for a second. Gods train by having sex with each other. And not only that, they can be a male or a female. So I guess depending on what gender they have, that gender displays like what powers they want to use at a certain point in time, and then they have another form they can use when their woman form or whatever is torn apart. That was very, very weird watching that, especially when we got to the end around like episode 11 to 12, and it was like, oh yeah, the guys, they train by having sex with each other, bro. You know, and it's cool that they explain that, because they never really explain why the guys were always doing the do all the time through the show. Alright, so it was like, okay, y'all obviously probably doing this for a reason, and the tree's like, yeah, the reason is they get stronger like that. That's how they, you know, train, which is interesting choice of words. I thought that was cool. Diving back on Sagiri, right? So with Sagiri, seeing her overcome the stuff that she had to overcome within herself was a great testimony of character growth and not needing a whole bunch of episodes to do it. You can have great character growth and not need 1,000 episodes like One Piece. I'm the hugest One Piece fan, so I can say that. Thought that was cool seeing how she was before and see how she ended. The other characters, they played a good part. Dude with the glasses, he was cool. We had the two brothers, the one with the blonde hair who started learning about Tao first, and then the older one with the longer hair. That was interesting. I don't think the younger one might be human anymore, because he went down in the well with the flowers, and he came up with some new powers and stuff. I don't think he's human. All right, but it was cool. Now we end off with they beat the first god or whatever that they saw. They beat that god, and then they're in like the new area. Gabimaru and everybody, he's saying like, I guess it's something with the Tao. So we see at the end, we see the Tao thing, and his brain is missing. So out of nowhere, after a fight, he's like, where am I? What am I doing? Why am I here? Was any of this even real? Like, all his memories are starting to fade and fade and fade. It had me interested, because I'm like, okay, where are y'all finna go now? I also see glimpses of, I guess they had like a little post-credit scene or whatever, where someone is coming. So I think that's another samurai he's coming. There's no telling what he's coming for the island for. Maybe the leaders in Japan, they're getting weary and they want the elixir of life. Oh, by the way, the elixir of life doesn't even exist. Okay, so I'm assuming by the elixir of life, the people they mean like the Tao. It said that in the show, it said that humans can't even drink the Tao. It's only something gods can drink. So that's going to be interesting, seeing how Gabimaru was there for the elixir of life, and really, at this point, it's really no reason for any of them to be there, because they were just trying to get it so they can get pardoned, and one of the dudes was trying to get it so he can be famous and be renowned and be a legend. So it's really no reason for them to be there. So at this point, I think their only goal is to probably escape. I want to see more about the guys. We don't really get a lot about them until like the latter part of this season, and like I said, the earlier parts we were just getting them doing the do. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Are y'all ready for season 2? I'm ready for season 2. Yeah. If you love the video, like the video. If you don't love the video, slide the video on the road to 500 subscribers. I appreciate it. If you like my content, share my content. Without further ado, I'm out. Peace.